Well, hello to my top 5 favorite kids: Winnie, Sterling, James, Roman, and Cleo. Well, one day, Winnie, we all know Winnie, W-I-N-N-I-E, Winnie asked if I was going to read a Super Pets book. She likes them, and I said I will read one. And so I took 3 books out of the library, put them in my bag to take home. One is kind of a little book, some are bigger books, and yes, I will be reading these books to you. This does not have, oh wait a minute, I don't think it has a cat, but it has a dog in it. And he is a superhero. In fact, there is going to be at least 2 dogs, T-O-W, 2 dogs in this book. And I think there might actually be too many dogs, because look at all the pictures of the dogs on here. Ooh. But I am going to be happy to read these books. And I will not put them down until I have read them all. So I'm going to pick up this book soon to show you. And no, there will not be a dad and a mom in the book. And I don't think anybody has a birthday. But you will hear me read this book. So, what, W-H-A-T, what is this book about? Well, it is a story about the amazing Mini Mutts. Looks interesting. So, let's turn this so we both can see it while I read it. The amazing Mini Mutts. Ooh, look at those mutts. There's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I see 14 pictures on here. And look at, here's all the DC villains and good guys. These look like good guys, and I think these are the villains. A whole bunch of them. The amazing Mini Mutts. Starring, okay, who's starring in this story? It's going to be Brainy Cat. Wait a minute, there is a cat in this, but he's the villain. And Sprightly Steve, Luna Noon, Ace, the Bat Hound, Corrupto, the Super Dog Space Canine Patrol. Ooh, Space Canine Patrol. And then we have Rex, the Wonder Dog, Fender and Santag, the Green Lantern. Well, we have 3 chapters in this book. So, first one is Bow Wow Boot Camp. Chapter 2 is Attack of the Brainy Cat. And Chapter 3 is Doggy Duo. So, Sprightly Steve is one of our heroes. He has super speed and a giant heart. Another hero is Luna Moon, who is he has an ultra snout. I guess that means he can smell well. And he has a giant heart also. And they're both small. And they are owned by, I believe that's going to be said, Chloe. Not spelled the right way, but anyway. They are canines, born on Earth, 1 year old. Their favorite food is itty bitty bones. And after being paw-picked by Crypto, these prep school pups completed Bow Wow Boot Camp and became the world's newest super pets. Now, look at the bad guys. They belong to Brainiac. He has super strength. He's wickedly smart. And he's cold-hearted. And I believe these are some of the bad guys. Well, Chapter 1, Bow Wow Boot Camp. Welcome to Bow Wow Boot Camp, said Crypto. The super dog stood outside a secret school located on an icy mountain. Many of the world's greatest pooches had trained at this exact spot. Today, the newest class of canine cadets had finally arrived. Crypto stared at the fluffy faces in front of him. Be proud, he said to the prep school puppies. The 5 of you are picks of the litter. Let's see, 1, 2, that's Crypto's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's his help. These are the ones that are being trained. Okay. Yes, but remember, a deep voice interrupted the class, and there it was, Ace the Bat Hound. That's Ace the Bat Hound. Batman's dog, Detective, walked up and down the lineup of pups. He gave them all a sniff with his nose. In the end, said Ace, only one of you will be named the top dog. A few brave bow wows wagged their tails excitedly. Others shook with fear. Crypto placed his paws around a couple of quivering canines named Luna Moon and Sprightly Steve. Ooh, they're going to be big in our story. Ace is right, but there's no need to worry, you two, said Superdog. We'll teach everyone a few old tricks. Crypto pointed to a nearby training course, and on the frozen field stood more hairy heroes, including Rex the Wonder Dog, and the Green Lanterns, Fender and Centang, and all of the Space Canine patrol agents. Each waited at an obstacle that would test the bite of the Mutts. Now come on, Crypto exclaimed, it's time for your first pup quiz. With a burst of power, the superdog flew towards a training course behind him. The pack of pups let out a whimper. Then they quickly followed their lightning-fast leader into the air. Before they could catch him, one of the pups perked up his ears. Rumble! Oh, did you hear that? Did you? Said Pound Polly, an excited golden retriever. The other pups stopped and listened. Look! Shouted Luna Moon, and she pointed a trembling paw towards the mountaintop. A giant rock had broken loose from the icy peak, and it rumbled towards the training course. What should we do? She asked. Run, said her pooch-pale Sprightly Steve as he tucked his tail between his legs and quickly scooted away. Pound, pound, suggested Polly instead. The dopey retriever darted towards the ball-shaped boulder. Whammo! Pound Polly smashed through the rock with his thick skull, and the remains rained down like spilled kibble. Nice work, you passed the first test, said Crypto. The canine cadets landed next to him on the course. Strength is important for a super pet. Luna Moon and Sprightly Steve hung their snouts. The puny poochers weren't strong like the others. Just then the ground shook. Luna, Steve, and the other canine cadets spun on their hind legs. Behind them stood a giant snow monster. Ooh, I'm afraid to turn the page. The blizzard beast licked its icy teeth and stomped its frozen feet. Whomp! Ooh, there he is. This time, a pup named Pyro, the poodle, stepped up. The fire-breathing pup opened her mouth, blasted the beast with a hurricane of heat. Whoosh! In an instant, the poodle melted, and the snow monster into a puddle. Nearby, the Green Lantern smiled. The creature had been their creation in another test, came for the canine cadets. Good job, said Crypto, patting the poodle's frizzy fur. Many great super pets have super breath. Now, who's ready for the next challenge? Woof, woof, woof. Four of the pups barked in excitement. Crypto looked around. Where are Luna Moon and Sprightly Steve? He asked the others. The pups pointed towards a shivering snowbank. With his X-ray vision, Crypto spotted the missing butts. Whoosh! The super dog blasted apart the pile of powder in one breath. What's wrong with you two? Crypto asked Luna and Steve. The pocket-sized pooches looked at the super dog with sad puppy eyes. I'm not super strong, Luna Moon said. Yeah, agreed Sprightly Steve. And I don't have super breath. We're just two puny pooches, they said together. Follow me, Crypto said with a smile. I need to show you something. The super dog led them towards the edge of the training course. There, towering above the snow, stood rows and rows of dog statues. Do you know who these canines are? Asked Crypto, pointing at the marble mutts. Luna and Steve shook their head. These are the most powerful pooches ever. The super dog walked up to the first statue and wiped snow from its tag. Ooh, there they are. They're the statues. This is my father, Zipto, said Superdog. A strange serum gave him wings to fly. Wow, look at that. Crypto moved to the next statue, which was larger than all the rest. This is my grandfather, Nycto. An alien ray made him a giant. He is the biggest one. The Superdog moved to the final statue and wiped his name tag clean. And this is my great-great-grandfather, Vipto. Do you know how many powers he had? Asked Crypto, turning toward Luna and Steve. They shook their heads. None, Crypto said. Luna and Steve gasped. It's true. My great-great-grandfather didn't have any powers, explained the Superdog. But he was the smartest of us all. Crypto stared down at the canine cadets. You see, every pooch has a special skill, he said. Now let's head back and discover yours. Luna and Steve began wagging their tails, and they grinned from ear to ear. But then, just as quickly, a sudden shadow covered their fluffy faces in darkness. The Superdog glanced over his shoulder and into the sky. Oh, this time he was the one who looked worried. Something in the sky is making Crypto worried. That's the end of Chapter 1. Now we have Chapter 2, The Attack of Brainy Cat. Ooh. Back on the training course, the super pets and their canine cadets stared into the sky as well. A flying saucer floated above them. It now completely blocked out the sun. Oh, another test, shouted the pup, named Husky the Hurler. I'll take this. Wow, look at this guy. Wow. While the others cheered, the husky dog dug up giant chunks of earth with his powerful paws, and he hurled them at the alien spaceship with all his might. Smash! The chunks of rock and ice shattered against the flying saucer. But they didn't even make a dent. Ooh. Stop, Crypto cried as he landed back on the training course with Luna Moon and Sprightly Steve. This isn't a doggy drill. It's the real deal. For once he's right, yelled a voice from above. A green-haired cat appeared on the edge of the saucer. Those puny pebbles can't hurt me. Brainy cat, shouted Crypto, spotting his alien enemy. Skip the introduction, said the cosmic cat. You pea-brain pups are all the same. Look at this guy. Boy, he does look mean and evil. Ace the Bat Hound returned with a growl. And you haven't met this mutt, he barked. No one forgets me. Bang! Ace fired a batarang at wire at the feline flying saucer, and the super strong hook bounced off the space cat like it was a tennis ball. Your bark is worse than your bite, Bat Hound, shouted Brainy Cat. But if you want a closer look at my spaceship, you simply have to ask. Ooh. A sudden light beamed down on the Super Pets and their class. The ground shook like the back of a wet dog. I'm going to be sick, said Husky the Hurler, trying not to toss his cookie. Then in the blink of a cat's eye, everything stopped. What happened? Asked Ace. I'm not sure, Crypto replied, but it smells like trouble. Luna Moon raised her snaz and gave a quick sniff. Look, she shouted. Above them, the flying saucer had disappeared. In its place floated the head of Brainy Cat. Ooh. His evil grin stretched across the sky like a storm cloud. Enjoying your new doghouse? His voice thundered down from above. Look at that, he has some in this. The canine cadets were confused, but like his master, the Bat Hound had unmatched detective skill. He used them to study his surroundings. We're trapped, Ace said. What do you mean, said Crypto. Please let me explain, Bat Hound, said Brain Cat. Or should I call you Rat Hound? After all, you're now smaller than a mouse. To the Super Pet, the cat's evil plan suddenly became clear as glass. The dogs aflame. Whoosh! Crypto flew into the air. Instead of soaring through the clouds, he smacked into the ceiling of thick glass. Boink! Foolish pooch, shouted Brainy Cat. You'll never escape from that bottle. Bottle? Crypto wondered out loud. A milk bottle, added Brainy Cat, licking his gigantic chompers. From this morning's breakfast, of course. Oh, that explains the smell, said Ace. Look at the bottles that they're in. He trapped them in those bottles. Joke all you want, Rat Hound, purred the Cosmic Cat. My collection of canines is finally complete. The Super Pets and the canine class moved towards the wall of the bottle, and they pressed their fluffy faces against the glass. A dozen of other bottles filled the inside of Brainy Cat's spaceship. Each bottle contained many miniature mutts. Woof, woof, they barked, asking for help. Oh boy, he's got all those mutts trapped. Using my incredible shrinking ray, I've kennelled canines from around the galaxy, explained Brainy Cat. Now it's time to return to my home planet where I can rule you all. Ha, 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 ha. Brainy Cat screwed a metal lid with tiny air holes into the top of the milk bottles. Then he let out a long yawn. If you excuse me, I'm going to take a cat nap during this ride. He said, we'll land on Kulu in 14 years. 14 years? Whoa. The canine cadets gasped. Don't worry, added the evil cat. That's only 100 dog years. Ooh, he is evil, isn't he? Well, that's the end of chapter 2. Now we have chapter 3, which is called Doggy Duo. Woof, woof. The schooled puppies barked with anger. They chased their tails and ran in circles, and they didn't know what to do. I'll break us out of here with my power ring, shouted Syntag, the Green Lantern, and Fender agreed. The super canines are at your service as well, Crypto, added one of the patrol agents. Thanks, everyone, said the super dog, but maybe the cadets should crack this case. This bottle. Ace couldn't believe his ears. Are you sure about this plan? The Bat Hound asked his super-powered pal. Real danger isn't planned, Ace, replied Crypto, but a super pooch, a top dog, is always prepared. Woof! The canine cadets started barking excitedly. Up-and-coming pups couldn't wait to step up. Pyro, the poodle, and Husky, the hurler, took the challenge first. The fire-breathing dog blasted the bottle with hot air. The heroic Husky scraped the glass with his powerful paws. Whew, they both said after a mighty effort, but the super strong glass was too tough to melt or crack. Pound, pound. Polly was ready to give it a go. Ooh, there are the pups trying to break this glass. Whoosh! The eager retriever soared towards the top of the bottle and he smashed the metal lid with his thick skull. Boink! When it was screwed down too tight, the dopey dog fell to the ground with lumps on his head. Way to use your head, said Husky the hurler. Those bumps are almost bigger than Luna and Steve. Luna and Steve were too busy to care. They studied the bottle top high above. The lump on Polly's head perfectly matched the air hole in the lid. If Husky was right, they could easily squeeze through them. Crypto, I think we've discovered our special skill, said Luna Moon, and she pointed to the milk bottle's top. The super dog glanced up, then he gave the miniature butts a knowing look. I thought you would, he said. For whoosh! Without another word, the puny pups soared into the sky, their teeny tiny capes flapping behind them like pieces of loose thread. Within seconds, they reached the top of the milk bottle. As small as fleas, Luna Moon and Sprightly Steve flew through the itty-bitty air hole. Then they landed on the floor of the spacecraft and scoped out their surroundings. Now what? Sprightly Steve asked his puny partner. There, shouted Luna Moon. She pointed towards a high-tech control panel on the wall. It was covered with dozens of red, glowing buttons. Each button had a number, just like the milk bottle. Let's see if there's a picture. No, I don't see a picture of it, but there's the bad guy. Those must reverse Brainiac's shrinking ray, said Steve. Luna raised her snout. Something smells like sour milk. Steve spun around. More like a sour puss, shouted the Mini Mutt, pointing in the air. That doggone cat is back. Look how big that cat is, and they're so tiny. Brainy Cat towered above them, showing his sharp claws. Ah! What made you puny pups think you could escape? Luna and Steve looked at each other, then back at the cat. Sprightly Steve raised a proud paw. Every dog has his day, he shouted. Whoosh! The quick canine rocketed in the air, and he buzzed Brainy Cat's head like a bee. The Cosmic Cat swatted wildly at the Mini Mutt. Go, Luna, go! Sprightly Steve yelled to his big old buddy. Wow, look at that! Tiny little Luna Moon, making him dance around and get all confused, and she's really doing a great job so that she can get over to this control panel and see if she could release the other pups from these bottles. Luna Moon sped towards the control panel and started pushing the red buttons. Nearby the bottle, Wow Wows cheered. One by one, they disappeared back to their home planets when they returned to a normal size. Finally, a single milk bottle remained, and it contained the super pets and the canine class. Luna Moon held her paw towards the final button. Looks like your dog days are over, said a voice from behind. Brady Cat was back. That button will save your friends, said the Cosmic Cat, but you two will remain Mini Mutts forever. Sprightly Steve landed on the control panel next to Luna Moon. What's so bad about being Betty? He said. Then together the two puny pooches pressed the final button. Beep! In an instant, the Bow Wow boot camp and the Super Pets blasted back to Earth. No! Screamed Brain Cat. The furious feline leaped at the Mini Mutts. But they were too teeny to trap. Smash! He landed face first on the control panel and sent the spaceship into hyperdrive. Time to find that doggy door, said Sprightly Steve. Luna leapt on her puny partner's back. So they took off and left that bad guy there. And they flew out of the spacecraft through an itty-bitty airplane. As Brady Cat's ship tumbled into space, the Mini Mutts soared back to Earth. Whoosh! At Bow Wow Boot Camp, the Super Pets and the canine class waited near the statues of the world's greatest pooches. They greeted their hairy heroes with wild applause. Sprightly Steve landed next to them. No need to thank us, he said. We were just doing our duty, said Luna, hopping off his back. Exactly, Crypto explained. The super dog scooped up the puny pups, and they were no bigger than the pants on his paw. Your action today has made us all proud, he said, glancing at the statues behind him. That's why for the first time ever, we're naming 2 top dogs. Crypto held Luna Moon and Sprightly Steve in the air. Class, meet the world's newest super pets, he said with a smile. The amazing Mini Mutts. Everyone cheered with glee, but Luna and Steve had the biggest smile of all. And that is the end. So here's a picture of some of those crazy good guy mutts, doggies. And this is some of the bad guys. So we have another story we're going to be reading. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of books. But that is the end of our story today. So this was kind of a long one today. So you might have to listen to that big story in 2 parts. But anyway, I hope you are all having a wonderful day. I love you all. Bye-bye.